The Nedbank Sports Trust Development Cycling Program supports high school learners and communities in the Western Cape between the ages of 13 and 19 years old, providing them with bikes and skills training. In February this year, they attended the Soetwater training camp and also competed in the Cape Town Cycle Tour just before lockdown took us by surprise at the end of March. The pandemic gave us an opportunity to host the first Sports Trust virtual cycle race #Piketberg, which took place on Sunday the 11th of October 2020, supporting the community of Piketberg.
Well, the main aim behind the Nedbank Sports Trust Cycling Development Program, of course, is to discover new talent. Second of all, to get the kids, especially those who are interested in cycling, active and in this beautiful sport of cycling. And lastly, of course, the various disadvantaged communities, to reach out to them and for them to be part of this unique program. So there's in total 16 schools that we work with across the Western Cape, whereby they can all participate. And as we know, it's an area that, of course, there's various elements of poverty and drug abuse. So it's just a great way for us to get the kids active and to play an active role in the communities in which we operate. Well, the pandemic has brought about, obviously various challenges for us as, events owners and as sponsors. And as a result, a lot of events, as we know, have been cancelled. And, as a result, we've initiated various virtual events. And this one in particular being the Sports Trust Virtual Cycle Challenge. It would have been the 5th annual Piketberg Elevation Challenge. But unfortunately, the event itself had to be scrapped and we converted it into a virtual event. The ultimate goal is to assist the actual cyclists on the ground. There's a long-term view and plan here of a bike park for them, various bike accessories and the trailer. So a really good cause, and of course, the kids themselves benefiting from the actual exposure and being active and participating in this beautiful sport of cycling.
During Level 1 lockdown, the communities in which the development cycling programs are situated suffered significantly in terms of job losses and food shortages. The Sports Trust and Nedbank joined forces and provided these communities with essential food parcel hampers, which provided some relief for the learners and their families.
We suffered enormously due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Local businesses closed down, and resulting in many job losses and increasing unemployment in this part of the world as well. The Sport Trust contributed the funds which were committed to cycling development to assist in COVID emergency relief programs such as food hampers, face masks and sanitation, and also educational support programs to affected communities in Piketberg.
Because of the lockdown that we've had and the participation of group events, we most probably going to roll this over into next year. So we will definitely be sitting side by side with Sports Trust to enable cycling to develop and be able to present it to our local cyclists.
Sports Trust Community Cycle Challenge #Piketberg came about as a result of the lockdown. The community of Piketberg, a very poor community, needs your support, and thus the virtual cycle challenge took place. Are you a Sports Trust hero in cycling today?
So our commitment to the virtual cycle challenge for the Sports Trust, it has a deep place in our heart because us as a cycling fun social group, we do pay back to communities. Our involvement or whatever is in them, it's just exciting because it's what we believe in and what we stand for.
The virtual cycle challenge was supported by various cycling clubs, individuals and the development cyclists from the Doorns, Cape Flats and West Coast, as well as social cyclists from various provinces within South Africa and internationally. Individuals cycled various distances of 5 kilometers, 20, 50 and 108 kilometers. Some learners from the Piketberg Development Cycling Club actually rode the 108 kilometer Piketberg Elevation Challenge route. which ends with a very challenging climb for the cyclists up Versveld Pass, a 4-kilometer winding path which has an elevation summit of 689 meters.
Since the past few years, since we had the community cycle race, more and more kids want to be part of the club. And so the club is sort of a vehicle for our youngsters here. And what the club just bring all our youngsters together, keep them off the street. And also what the club do is the gateway for our kids from Piketberg to the outside world, where they can compete in cycling, in competitions, whether it is mountain biking or road cycling. This is what the club do, and this is the contribution from the club side to be that vehicle for our kids, our development riders, and to help them to perform on the best and bring their best towards the races.
I really enjoyed it because this was our first actual race, but it was more of a challenge, and I got to do it with my team and we completed it. We rode from Ocean View High School around to Mystic Cliffs, Radial, around to Cape Point, through Simonstown and over Black Hill, back to Ocean View.
Well, my finish line was on the Versveld Pass. I managed to climb the pass. The pass is about 4 to 5 kilometers distance. I think maybe more or less. But I enjoyed it pretty much because for me it was like a cherry on top of a cake, because that was the Versveld Pass is part on my daily training program. But I managed to finish on top of the Versveld Pass. It was fun for me. I enjoyed it.
When I looked at the weather, I was a bit scared in doing the 5K, but because I said I was going to do the 50K. But thankfully, we managed to get through the 50K with my mates in Johannesburg. And again, the Sports Trust, what they do for the communities, all over the country, and specifically for this course, for people in Piketberg, it's amazing, and especially in a time where people are in need of so many things, not just, finance, but I mean, these days, people need food, people need compassion, and people need a lot of love and support in this time. It was wonderful to see such a turnout. A lot of my mates also took part, across the country to support the cause.
It is special for me because, like I said, it was a race in a very long time, and the pandemic and everything that's happening, we can't actually attend races face to face. So it was a bit different, and what I really loved was that there was support with the parents, and the principal allowed us to use the high school.
When it comes to kids, when it comes to development, when it comes to early childhood development, sometimes, something as small as having a hobby is what a kid needs. It's something to focus on. It keeps them motivated, keeps them focused. In the lesser affluent areas, kids are often under pressure to take part in things that we probably wouldn't want them to. There's a lot of bad influences in the world, unfortunately, and so it's not about teaching a kid how to ride a bike. It might seem like that, but it's about a lot more. It's about giving them something special to focus on, and maybe potentially become a career, but if not, become a passion. And it keeps them grounded, it keeps them focused, and it's not cycling, it's sport as a whole. And again, I give the credit to the Sports Trust. They find these causes and they find these communities where it's needed, and they do amazing things.
And in these times, we appeal to a lot of sports people, especially who were privileged enough to play at a high level and were blessed to do what they're doing, to come and support such events. So again, thanks to the Sports Trust for allowing us to help the communities. I've always been a firm believer in trying to give back. Even it's really, really small, but a little act of kindness, doesn't matter how small, will go a long way.
The Sports Trust wishes to thank the various sponsors and partners that contributed towards the virtual cycle challenge. Funds raised will be used towards the implementation of sustainable projects in terms of supporting the development cycling program. This will entail the implementation of sustainable food initiatives and providing training and skill support to this community.
Well, Nedbank is a proud founding member as a trustee of the Sports Trust, the journey that started back in 1994. And recently, of course, we celebrated the 25th anniversary of the Sports Trust existence. It's really centered around, making sport development and contributing towards that at no cost to clients. What's unique about this program is our Nedbank Sports Affinity program, whereby clients can support this particular project and the Sports Trust, whereby their monthly banking charges get donated at no cost to them, to the Sports Trust, to support various sports development projects such as this Nedbank Sports Trust Cycling Development Program.
It is a great honor and a privilege for us at Versveld to be part and parcel of Sports Trust and its continual engagement in the upliftment and the promotion and development of cycling, and specifically in our areas where people find it very difficult to actually, find means and ways to access the sport. And over the last year, we have been involved with them, where we took 2 riders to participate in France at the L'Étape de Tour, and we will be continuing doing that most probably in the foreseeable future.
Well, we certainly would want it to continue in the same manner which it was held in the last couple of years. We have partnered with our local tourism office to make sure that we get many more visitors, spectators to come and support the race in time to come. And we really want to put it on the calendar as one of our main tourist focus points and events in Bergrivier in the coming years.
I really enjoyed being part of this development program. For me, the benefits are it creates opportunities for young children. It could be learners, teenagers, young adults. But I'm actually thankful for being part of this program because it has opened so much doors for me and made me see cycling in a different perspective.
Yeah, we grew. From the past years, I can say that we grew. I think there was a time where in a year that we have only 4 riders participating throughout the year, but it become more and more like a fun for all of the kids outside. And yeah, it's a challenge to keep everything together, but I know the kids they will actually enjoy it, and because every time they just look forward to give their best and try to fit in somewhere. And this is actually what the cycling club is about, so to keep our kids, our youngsters off the street, and to be part of not just a cycling club but as a family. And what we can do is just try to accommodate all of them.
The Sports Trust remains committed to providing access and opportunities for communities to participate in sport. This provides the youth with a sense of purpose, discipline, and creates new experiences where they can showcase their talents. We thank our sponsors and the cycling community for being a Sports Trust hero and helping us to continue to enhance education through sport.